Hello, Nix Nova here. Today's message is staying in your power. It's been coming up a lot as a lesson for me to learn these past couple of weeks, and a very common recurring theme with my tarot clients. So, what do we mean? It means not budging when someone else tells you what you should be, what you should do, that's not in alignment with your true self. It's about putting yourself first and staying true to yourself no matter what. That can be easier said than done. We're human. We don't want to disappoint people. We don't want to get in trouble at work or at home or wherever we may be. However, be the lesson here is to be careful how we go about creating, like, it's important to create harmony in our relationships. It's good for ourselves, it's good for everyone, but is it to our detriment is what we need to ask. Do Are we giving too much of ourselves? Are we putting someone else on a pedestal above us? That's what it means to give up your power. It's, like the other person, whether they're a spouse, a parent, significant other, sibling, boss, whoever, are they are they, are you allowing them to be above you? Because we all have roles, right? Like, for example, a child and a parent. Obviously, the parent has some authority over the child. Same thing as a boss and an employee, right? However, we're talking energetically on, like, we're like, at the end of the day, we are still human beings. We energetically, on this realm, on this earth, no one's a god, no one's an angel, no one's a deity. We're all, we have shadow, we have light, we all have flaws, we all have things that make us beautiful, other things not so much. We are all equal as beings on this planet. We have roles to play, right? Parent, child, boss, subordinate, whatever. They're different roles. We have different responsibilities, and there's different ways that we need to fulfill those responsibilities. However, when you break it down, when you strip away everybody's title or role, what are we at the end of the day? We're all just people. I hear it a lot. I've heard it at my past corporate job. I hear it a lot now from my clients that, like, they're so scared. They don't know what to do with their boss. Their boss tells them, to work unreasonable hours, or they're speaking to them in a condescending manner, and they're so afraid to get in trouble. They're afraid of what are they going to do? Let's break it down, right? What permanent damage could this other person possibly cause you? Like, a boss can fire you, right? Like, other people, maybe they wouldn't want to be friends with you anymore, or you would risk losing the relationship, and maybe that's out of your comfort zone. But you can find other, like, as I know, life is really hard and it's easier said than done, and finding jobs is just not easy at all right now. I understand that. However, when we give in and we put up with things that are just not for our highest, greatest good, that doesn't serve anybody. That creates a cycle of this low vibrational energy, and it doesn't serve anybody involved. It not ourselves, not even the person that we put on the pedestal, because it's all ego, right? Like, if their ego is overfed, they become power hungry. That's low vibration. They take it out on us and they put people down. That's low vibration on us. It's not healthy, and it's not for the highest, greatest good. Now, if you're in a legitimately dangerous situation, I'm knocking on wood, God forbid, that's different, right? If it's like a physically dangerous situation, then obviously that's like a huge nuance, and that needs to be handled, differently and responsibly. Aside from that, we're talking about just energetically, right? Not in an abusive, not in a physically dangerous situation, but maybe there's people taking advantage of you, people maybe psychologically or like verbally abusive to you. We don't need to put up with any of this. This was happening to me a while ago, where and then like I was feeling just not myself. I've had like over a decade of therapy, and I was regressing, and I didn't understand fully what was happening until some incident happened, and my eyes were opened, and I looked back. I kept a journal, and I reread my journal, and that's how I put the pieces together. That's why, like, journaling or voice memos or documenting your journey in some way, shape, or form can be very helpful to you to identify what is and what isn't serving you. It could be detrimental for you to get clarity that way. But what happened to me was I reread it, and then I realized I was living as a past me, as a less healthy me, as a me who has not yet done all this shadow work, and made all this progress. And what was happening was I I was people pleasing. That's like I was conforming myself to someone else, someone who I thought maybe was my mentor, and I was so desperate for it. Never worked out to me. I always wanted a mentor. I've just always dreamed of one. Never, and it just, I've been disappointed very badly in the past. So I didn't think it was possible, and finally it happened, and I thought, oh, this is it. This is amazing. And I was so just, I gave them away all my power. And then they were saying things that just did not line up with their actions. And then they reacted in a way to me that was just I felt like a veil got lifted, and finally I got some clarity, and I was like, what was I even thinking? Because I was regressing so bad. I was having issues in my current relationship. I was like thinking the way I used to, like back then. It was just, I was emotionally unstable and not in a good place. And I didn't even understand why. And like all these, like energetically, all these mishaps started happening. I was like dropping things. I was forgetting things. I was late to things. It's just all these things that are out of character. And then I reread my journal, and that's when I realized, oh my God, like this is why we have to put ourselves first. And that's why we have to take back our power. It's so not healthy. Like if we give it away and we allow, because it is when we allow, again, abuse, like dangerous situations aside, that's a whole other story, okay? If it's not an immediately dangerous situation, this is what happens. We regress. We're not happy. It's affecting other, like we're just one person. We wear many hats, but we're one soul. We carry this bad energy to other relationships that were otherwise harmonious. And this is why we have to look at things, like we have to step away and look at things from a higher perspective. If we zoom out on the planet, right, like when you're in an airplane and you see like the little cars go by and it looks like little ants, you can't tell, but like by that distance you can't tell who's rich, who's poor, who's powerful, who's not, who's famous. You can't tell. And it's true, like energetically, it's true. We're all equal here. On this earth, on this planet, we are all the same species. We are all human. We are all equal. These people, like, what are they gonna do if you get fired? There's another job even better for you out there. The person breaks up with you or doesn't want to be friends with you anymore. They were not your real friend to begin with. There's someone out there who's even better, who will treat you with respect and who will love all of you, imperfections and all. By taking back our power and again putting ourselves first, this is how we attract. It all starts with it. I always say that all starts inside, but this is like once we see ourselves as the rulers of our lives, as the powerful and beautiful and capable individual that we are, like attracts like. That's how we attract people who see our worth. That's how we, and anybody, bosses, mentors, friends, anybody. This is how we attract that. This is how, like, I always say we teach others. Like how we treat ourselves, that's how we tell others that they should treat us. So when we're putting someone else above it, we're putting ourselves below. We're telling that person, oh, look at that. I'll do anything for you. I'll bend over backwards for you. You can treat me however you please. That's not okay. That does not raise any vibrations. It's bad for you. It's bad for everybody. There's no benefit to anybody. You can argue it's benefit to the person that we're putting on a pedestal, but again, they're not, their ego, it's feeding their ego. It's not for their greatest, highest good, their highest self. If they were listening to it more, would not allow this imbalance. Where we thrive together when we lift each other up together, regardless of our role, whether it's teacher, student, again, parent, child, spouse, sibling, doesn't matter. The people will stay, like, when we take back our power and that's when we embrace our true self, our highest self. That's when we invite the energy of enlightenment, fulfillment, peace. This is how we create harmonious relationships, because we're not diminishing ourselves. We're not changing ourselves. We're staying true to exactly who we are. We're being honest. And I'm not to say that, oh, like, we just have to be egotistical and selfish and just do whatever we want. No, like, obviously we have to put ourselves first, as long as it's not maliciously, like, purposefully harming someone else. But we have to come first. We have to be true to ourselves, because that is how we raise the collective vibration. That is how we become connected to our highest self. That is how we allow the universe to give us its power, its energy, and its blessings. That is how we lead the lives and fulfill the purpose that we're meant to on this planet. So I hope that this message helps people who are lost, who have lost themselves in these relationships, in these dynamics. And I really hope you don't have to give something up. You don't have to cut anyone off. Remember, the universe only takes away. It's painful and it sucks, and our ego gets scared and worried, and that's valid. But the universe only takes away what no longer serves us. And once it's not like taking space within us anymore, only then can the blessings, and I promise there's something even better on the horizon. This is how we become a partner with the universe. We stay true to ourselves and do what's right for us, for our highest, greatest good. And the rest we surrender to the universe, and we have faith that our guides are here and they love us and they will bless us. because all they want is to raise the vibration. And how do we do it? Fulfilling our role. And how do we do that? Again, embracing exactly who we were meant to be, who we want to be, who our soul yearns to be. So the card of the day is the Empress. And this applies to any gender. It doesn't only have to be for women. This is a feminine energy, but every single one of us has both masculine and feminine energies. There is also the Emperor, but I'm choosing right now the Empress. This is a more passive card. The feminine energy is that nurturing, that calm, like that passive, the moon energy, the water energy. The masculine energy, the Emperor, is the fire energy. It's the sun energy. It's the it's less passive. It's like proactive. It's like go do, go get, like let's go. Because we're like, what I'm talking about, you can take your power without doing anything. That's the key here. Like, you think, oh no, I need to be powerful, I must act, tough. No, it's not about acting tough. It's not putting on a facade. It's not being confrontational. It's not about, like fight me energy. No. It's just being you, just being. Being is a passive action. It means like you don't have to do anything. You can just sit here and like love and accept yourself and uplift yourself and celebrate your own energy. Like I said, right, it all starts from within, and then externally, once we change our internal environment, then our external environment will follow suit. We don't have to do anything. You would be surprised how, just staying in your power and just being you and not budging, no matter how much someone else tries to mold us in their image or in some shape that it's not in alignment with ourselves. If we just stop and just take a pause, all will be revealed. It really does. If we just, again, we become grounded and stable within ourselves, easier said than done, but you don't need to do anything. People will start acting in ways, like they will show you exactly who they are. They will show you what they're all about. You don't have to do anything. You can stay in your power just being you. And that way we become uplifted, and our lives, the more happy, healthy people there are on the planet, the better we treat each other, the happier we all will be, and the more blessed. The crystal of the day today too, this bracelet is a bracelet. It has many stones, but the one that we're talking about is this one here, and it is Tiger's Eye. Tiger's Eye is exactly Empress energy. It is basically like, I am lion, hear me roar. It is about having the self-confidence and having that power. The crystal is more on the fiery, slightly masculine side, but the cat silhouette, like the cat symbol, is usually more on the feminine side. So it's like it's about just staying and being confident that you can take things. No matter what happens, you don't have to change unless you want to. If change is for your healing and your growth and your self-love, then yes, it serves your highest, greatest good. It makes you happy, it makes you healthy. Then yes, of course, embrace change. But if it's something that's just not in alignment with you, and it could be these people that we're talking about, they don't have to be these evil, horrible, boogeyman, malicious people. Sometimes people mean well. They really do. They just don't understand where we're coming from. And again, it's unfair and it sucks, but it's our responsibility to teach others, hey, no, this is me. This is who I am. This is what I need to do. This is what my highest, greatest self is about. So, this is just showing, right? Just, again, not being fighty, not being confrontational. It's just about being unapologetic about being yourself. And in doing so, when we realize that everyone has this capability, we can respect one another more, and we can give each other the benefit of the doubt, and we don't have to hate, right? Like if someone's different from us, when we have this understanding that, oh, I'm staying in my power, they also have the right to stay in their power. Sometimes our powers are going to clash, and we don't need to be in each other's lives. And that's okay, but we don't have to hate them, right? Again, it's passive, calming, nurturing energy. I hope this resonates with someone and makes a difference. The link to my Etsy store, which is how you can book a tarot reading with me as well, will be listed in the description. Love and light to each and every one of you. And remember, you're all exactly where you're meant to be.